So how are you going to pass that real estate exam? You're going to prep with questions for national and for your particular state. Repeat until you get 100 score. And of course, you're going to study lots of vocabulary, memorize them, learn them, whichever works for you. And before we get going, on video number 4 of Texas real estate exam, I made an incorrect statement. I got mixed up with the not that I point out to everybody. And I want to let you know that a trust account is required. Okay, a trust account has to be identified as a trust account. So it was question 87, and the answer was A. And the other thing, if a person is penalized, okay, is guilty of illegal practice, then they have 30 days to pay the money back to Texas Real Estate Commission, okay, to the recovery fund. There was a question that said 90 days. Okay, it's not indicated as that. Well, it's not 90 days and it's not, forever, which I mentioned. It is actually 30 days, or the individual will have their license revoked if the penalty charges that were paid to a client were not paid. Were paid, okay? So the agent was guilty, okay? They didn't get revoked their license. However, they now have to repay the recovery fund for whatever penalties were paid to the complaint person, okay? So they give them 30 days. If they don't pay it in 30 days, they will get revoked. Their license will get revoked. So just wanted to make those 2 corrections. The video was about 3 weeks ago, number 2, Texas real estate exam, or yes, it was one of the sample Texas real estate exam. I had 1 through 4, okay, about 3 weeks ago. Just wanted to point that out. I was corrected by a viewer and she was correct, okay? All right. Hi, Ainalee. How are you? So all of you that are present, we're starting out with national questions and then going on to Texas questions towards the end of the class. Anybody watching the replay, the class is designed to allow students to participate during the live. So, if you want to fast forward in between questions, please do so. And anyone that has comments, hey, I answer all my comments, so type them down below. So this is Lillie Hendy coming to you from San Antonio, Texas with YouTube Agent Prep. And you can watch on Facebook or on YouTube. Of course, I prefer YouTube, but that's okay. I say you can watch it on either one. So we're continuing on from where we left off on Saturday. And so it is question 926. Okay, and the topic has to do with closing, risk management, and property management for national questions. And remember to type your question and the answer in the chat. Okay, let's get started. Of the following actions, the only one which avoids any risk of committing unintentional misrepresentation. So unintentional misrepresentation. So only one which avoids any risk of committing unintentional misrepresentation is A, measuring and reporting property dimensions, B, describing properties and amenities, C, stating that a client should seek legal counsel, or D, making statements about the presence or absence of hazardous substance. So of the following actions, there's only one which avoids any risk of committing unintentional misrepresentation. So you're watching Monday Night Football, go Astros. Are the Cowboys playing? I say, go Cowboys. I've been a loyal Cowboy fan all my life, and so are my brothers, even though many times, we screw up and lose. So the answer here, type your answer in the chat. There's quite a few on you here, so please participate and correct me should I ever be wrong. Tutors, teachers do make mistakes, and I prefer that I get corrected instead of not saying anything. Okay. No, baseball. Oh, that's right. Baseball, right? I'm not a sports fan. Okay. I mainly watched football. And even then, I don't follow it. I hear the results from my brothers. I have 6 older brothers. Okay. 5 living. Okay. So the answer is C, stating that a client should seek legal counsel. Okay. That one avoids any risk of committing unintentional misrepresentation. Oh my gosh, you won the World Series. Well, congratulations, Astros. That's awesome. So 926C. Anyway, today, oh shoot, I was late because I got stuck in traffic after delivering an earnest money check from an offer I wrote. Finished it at Saturday morning at 1:00, and it got accepted last night. Delivered the check today, and during cold calling today, I got 2 potential listings. Okay, so Carlos says, nah, Patriots better than Cowboys. Nah, I love the Cowboys. I'm a true Texan and Cowboy. I know they're the Texans, but that's okay. We all have a preference, right? If we didn't, man, I get all excited. I'm one of those that yells and jumps and screams and, spirit, right? It's spirit. And that's the kind of spirit we want to have on here. So 926. All right, Carlos. All right, 27. To reduce risk inherent in reporting transaction progress to a client, the licensee should do what? A, make reports orally only, never in writing. B, leave progress reporting to the inspectors and other experts. C, advise the client that it is company policy to make no progress reports until the contingency period is over. Or D, avoid speculative statements in all reports. Oh, this is a different Gutierrez. Carlos. Okay, you're new to this. Okay, so on here, we review national questions, Carlos, which applies to all 50 states. So not sure which state you're in. You could type it in the chat. And it says, I know nothing, right? That's why you're here. You're showing up. And that's what's important. Hi, Fabiola. You're showing up to participate and learn. And I'm not the only one that does this. Prep Agent is excellent. He has lots and lots and lots of videos, predominantly national. And sometimes he posts his particular state ones. Oh, you're in Texas. So you don't like the Cowboys. Oh, man. Or you like the Texans, now you like the Patriots. Okay. So 27 is D, avoid speculative statements in all reports. One of the biggest complaints of a lot of clients is lack of communication from the realtors or the title companies or anyone. So it's important to communicate updates. So to reduce risk inherent in reporting transactions progress to a client. So it's transaction progress, right? So you have a contract and it's probably an escrow or any process that we're going through during the inspection, during the option period, going towards closing. Then it's good to update them, once a week, or, in case, especially if we have to do price changes because the market is changing, or just to give them an update on the status, because many closings close within 30 days to 45 days. And they do get nervous and they want to know what's happening. and be available and reply to texts, calls, emails, all that, and stay in touch with title companies. Okay, so the answer was D. So Anaí, you answered B. Leave progress reporting to the inspectors. No. Reporting transaction progress. So we have a transaction, a deal, an executed contract. Okay, so that's a transaction, right? So we have the transaction documents and we want to get updates from the lender, updates from the title company, and stay in touch. Sometimes we have to really follow up a lot with, lenders and title companies. Not all lenders are the same. Not all title companies are the same, just as not all realtors are the same. Everyone runs their business differently. However, progress reporting transaction. So transaction progress to a client. The licensee should avoid speculative statements in all reports. So we don't speculate. We get down to the nitty gritty, to the root of the problem, find out the details from reports, call the inspectors, call the surveyors, call whoever we need to get the exact detail, or have them, those vendors contact the client. We just don't say, well, I think, I believe, or I feel. No, we need to state facts, right? State facts. All right, number 28. How does sharing the qualifying function with a lender protect a licensee? How does sharing the qualifying function with a lender protect a licensee? A, it guarantees that a buyer will have a loan. B, it reduces the chance of presenting an offer from an unqualified buyer. C, it relieves the licensee of his or her due diligence responsibilities. Or D, it allows the licensee to avoid asking embarrassing questions. Okay, remember to type your question and answer in the chat. Carlos, there are always issues, there's always excuses, or there are always people telling us this or that, or naysayers and such. You got to listen to yourself. So you're saying you feel like all this real estate takes a long time to have it as a main job, and competition is crazy. I'm kind of scared to invest. Oh, you're an investor. So look, the competition is really with yourself, not with everybody else. There is tons of property out there. Real estate is always needed. In fact, I went to a subdivision on over the weekend. They're building 1,470 homes. Okay, D.R. Horton on the west side of town over by Potranco. That's for individuals in San Antonio. 1,470 homes. Why do you think they're building so many? Because there aren't enough. And major metropolitan cities and all cities around the world are growing. And why is that? Because people live longer and are still having children. And so there's the demand for homes. There's always competition, right? That's why we don't agree with monopoly. We don't accept monopoly. Competition is good. And never fear it. Okay. Fear is not real, even though we do. Okay. So you got to listen to yourself. Do you want it or do you not? Okay. So I've been making excuses myself. Okay. Because I took the summer off. I enjoyed it. I was having fun, drinking margaritas, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden I'm like, holy crap. I don't have any clients. Well, I do have 2 or 3 clients, right? But I haven't been making much money. So what did I do? I bought a lead generating system. So my confidence is better. And I've been with it 3 weeks. And I think I've called like 4 times. So today I called for 2 hours standing up. And I got one lead of potential of $1.6 million. Okay. From an expired listing. Another one called me back. It's only 110,000, but that's okay. And so I'm going to meet with them tomorrow. So if I keep thinking, oh man, there's too much competition, I'll never have a chance. It takes too long. No, it only takes too long when we don't do what? take action. Okay, we must take action. We must take action in order to make things happen. And investing is a risky business. However, why do you think banks loan money? And why do people make the most money when they invest in real estate? Because it's the best investment out there. It's something you can touch, feel, okay, hold on to. And we have to make educated decisions, study, learn. So you could start making money the first month. It's up to you. I will say, though, about 75 to 85% of realtors that start in the business have the wrong impression, wrong expectation, and they drop out. I know you don't like to hear that. Hopefully, you're the one that hangs in there. Obviously, I have hung in there, and I've been in 3 different markets. So don't find excuses, find reasons, find ways to take action. That's how you're going to get the business. It doesn't take a long time. It only takes a long time when you go slowly, okay, and don't do what is necessary. And so it's important a lot of times to get a coach. And you know what? This is one of the best investments that I made. And I was afraid to cold call. I typically door knocked and walked around neighborhoods, drove around neighborhoods, and called for sale by owners. That's how I got my listings, and through referrals. And now I'm cold calling because I'm in a bigger city, and it's not as it's very time consuming to go drive around. So sorry for too many questions. No, of course, this is why we're here. Okay. But do you think college is a good thing? What is your opinion on that? What college? I have 2 college degrees. I'm a retired engineer. Okay. So college, you don't need a college degree to succeed. There's many millionaires, many successful individuals that don't even know how to read and write, but they're good business people. They know how to solve problems. Okay. And they lean on other individuals that do that. What college does do, it establishes a foundation for you to commit to a schedule, learn how to research, how to make decisions, learn all the resources available. That's what college does. You could have a master's and a PhD and still not have a job. It's not everything. It's a start, but it's not required. All right. So the answer was 928 was B. Okay, is B. So thank you for those questions. I mean, I don't normally go into a lot of detail, but it's important. And the important thing is to think positive and read books and learn. Okay. So the answer, how does sharing the qualifying function with a lender protect a licensee? It reduces the chance of presenting an offer from an unqualified buyer. So one of the things we do a lot in real estate, one of the main things is ask a lot of questions. Why? So that we can learn more about the buyer or the seller to best help them and find a solution. We are solution providers, okay? Problem solvers. So thank you for the questions. So anybody, watching the replay, hey, just fast forward. You're not interested in hearing that, just move forward. But this is a participating class. And if you don't like me, my style, that's okay. If you have some recommendations and suggestions, hey, I'm all for it. Let me know. Number 29. The area of agent activity where there is the greatest risk of failing to maintain client confidentiality is A, trust fund handling, B, office management, C, the agency relationship, or D, the closing process. So the area of agent activity. So whatever activities that we do, where there is the greatest risk of failing to maintain client confidentiality. Hey, Kamanani. Oh, look at that. Another Astro. Go Astros. Thanks, Kamanani. Like Quint. Oh, I like interactions. Great. Thank you so much. Hi, Cindy. Did I say hi to everybody? I think so. Okay, so this one, 929, is the agency relationships. So yes, all right, go Astros, world champions. I didn't watch it, so but that's okay. You see, I'm learning from you. It's agency relationship, right? Because we have agency relationship with any client. When they're a client, right? Maintain a client, we have legal documents signed. Okay, having a beginning and an end date, specifying whether they're a seller, a listing agreement, or they're a buyer. All right, next, moving right along. Hey, one of my I bought this program called Vulcan 7. It's like the best lead generating system with a dialer. And I was afraid of it before, wouldn't do it, but top teams use like Vulcan 7. It has the best scrubbed leads and phone numbers and emails and texts, all kinds of numbers. So one of the mentors or trainers in the masterminds, he's got 3 kids and they were all sick. So, and he talks about being real, be yourself when you're dealing with clients. Of course, be professional and know what to say with scripts and stuff. However, put in your own personality, be real. Okay, number 30, the area of agent activity. Where there is the greatest risk of creating a false impression that the licensee is a certified appraiser is A, performing a comparative market analysis, B, writing property advertisements, C, presenting written offers, or D, researching ownership documents. And thank you for all of you writing the question number and the answer. Okay, come on. There's many of you on here. Type your question and answer on the chat, in the chat. No, it is not B. We can write advertisements, okay? In fact, a lot of realtors pay for advertisement on Facebook or pay-per-clicks, Google ads, YouTube ads, Instagram ads, TikTok. There's like ads all over the place. The answer is A, performing a comparative market analysis. Because remember, we are not certified appraisers. We are licensed realtors, independent contractors. Appraisers are also independent contractors, unless they work for a company with many appraisers and they're hired that way. Typically, they're independent contractors, and they do a more detailed comparable about the property and come up with a value on the request of the lender loaning money or from a seller wanting to find out the value of a property. Ours are competitive market analysis. There are both opinions, but the appraiser has a more detailed about the properties, and ours is based on from our MLS, dealing with actives, pendings, and solds. So 930A. Okay, so we have another question real quick. Let's see. Another question. What books do you recommend if you know any? Yes, the books that I recommend. This is one of them. Okay. And so they are in the comments below. I put on there books I recommend that I've used, and they're books that actually provide the questions and detailed answers. And they do a summary of all the sections that you're doing in the exam. So when you go down and look at my description, okay, on almost every video that I've posted in the last probably 3 or 4 months, I have some links on there on books that you can buy in Amazon. This particular book, okay, I've spoken with the author and I really like it. Many students have recommended this book, and they published this book in 26 states so far. So they'll eventually have it in all 50 states. It's an excellent book. And it's not because I like it only. I've had other students recommend it from other states. So the national portion is going to be about the same, and then it's state specific. Okay, so use my links that are down in the description, and I am an Amazon affiliate, and so Amazon will end up paying me a little bit of a commission when you use my link. And if you use my link, anything you buy within 24 hours, I will get credit for. Okay. So there's, I think there's 4 books on there that I recommend. One of them is free that you can download on the internet. It's called the Texas Real Estate Sales Exam 4th edition. It's been on the internet for years. It's an old book, but the national and the state are excellent. A few questions are outdated in the state section, but the national is great. It also has glossary vocabulary, and it has scantrons. And then at the end of every exam, it breaks down all the questions of each of the 4 exams as to what topic they covered. So if you have a weakness in a particular area, okay, like agency or like what we're doing today, okay, we're doing closing, risk management, property management. At the end of each chapter after the exam, it'll break down all the questions, and then you can go and review those particular questions. Hi, Ruth. Thanks for joining us. So thank you for asking. Yeah, they're excellent books. I recommend looking for books that explain the answers. Okay. And that's why I recommend the ones that are in the description below. All right, number 31. One of the major risks, okay, I'll go back to your comment, Carlos. One of the major risk areas in advertising a listed property is that an advertisement will A, describe the property in excessively glowing terms. B, fail to appear at the same time in all available media. C, omit any mention of the owner's main selling points. Or D, make substantial misrepresentation. So while you're looking for the answer, I'm going to go back. I forgot the second part. It says, I have a book called Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate from Tom McKay. Hey, yeah. Because you can actually smell the wood, right? Or the concrete or the bricks. Oh, yes. On the background, okay, there's a bunch of books that I have read, okay? Listing Boss, Limitless, The 10X by Grant Cardone, Sell or Be Sold, Just Effing Do It, you know, right up there. So I read a lot of books. And I learned from those books. And let me tell you, those books have helped me let go of a lot of BS and a lot of letting go of friends, a lot of naysayers, and listening to my own mind, okay, instead of listening to others that are not doing the business. There's always going to be someone that wants to discourage you, and they don't know. Everything is a risk, okay? The day we were born, says Jim Rohn, it was a risk. Okay, so the answer here is one of the major risk areas in advertising a listed property is that an advertisement will, D, make a substantial misrepresentation. Okay, it could make a misrepresentation. So it says the license laws of most states list as illegal advertising activities subject to discipline such actions as making any substantial and intentional misrepresentations, making false promises, and making misleading or untruthful statements in any advertisement. So advertisements, can make substantial misrepresentations. We have to be careful with that. Very careful. And of course, we always have to advertise our broker's name, okay, the agency name, in addition to ours. I mean, it's up to you, right? But they got to look, you got to sell yourself. So the answer is 931D. Oh, I met Grant Cardone at Minute Maid Saturday Cash Flow. Cool. At Minute Maid Saturday Cash Flow. I met Grant Cardone and Elena Cardone in Cabo and hugged both of them and took pictures with both of them when I went to an EXP convention or mastermind big for a whole week. Okay, so Grant Cardone, I feel like he just loves money too much. Something off with him. Hey, you know what? That is a lot of times. I mean, he's crazy. He's wild. Okay, I'm wild, Lillie, right? Hey, he's blessed, man. He know how to make money, and yes, okay, he likes money, and he makes a lot of it, and he markets like crazy. So why do you think he makes even more money? He spends lots of money on marketing. Okay. And he knows his stuff. He's always reading. He's always doing. He didn't have it all when he started, him and Elena. Okay. So a lot of times, sometimes we start to not like people when they become wealthy, but they're, normal people like us. A lot of rich individuals started poor, having nothing, but they had a passion, they had a goal, and they had a vision. And so they started to do it and were persistent and didn't stop and don't stop. And yeah, he's all over the place. Okay. And so sometimes a little bit too much for me, but hey, he made it. That was the hat he is promoting, cash flow. Oh, yeah. Well, Robert Kiyosaki, okay, he wrote the book Cash Flow. And the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I've read a lot of his books. Yes, he is still consistent. If you're looking at a lot of marketing, he's major consistent and repeatability. Smart guy. Okay. Smart guy. And actually, people don't have to be that smart to become successful and millionaires. They just know how to take action. We need to learn to take action. Sometimes my smarts and my nerdishness creates analysis paralysis, and I get in my own way. Okay, so I'm learning to get out of my way. Get out of your dang way, Lillie. All right, and what does that take? Reading books, having coaches and mentors, and taking risk. 32, property managers have a blank relationship with the property owner. A, non-binding. B, partnership. C, fiduciary. D, sub-agency. So property managers have a what kind of relationship with the property owner? Okay, so far we have C. This has been an interesting class, okay? Lots of questions, and it's important to ask when they come up. Because you know what? A person can choose to watch the video or not, right? That's why it's on YouTube and Facebook. It's your choice to watch or not. Give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. But hey, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything. Yes, the answer is C. You can't see the question. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, tell me. Property managers have a blank relationship with the property owner. The answer is fiduciary. We have property managers have a fiduciary relationship. Thanks for that. Who mentioned it? Cindy and Lisbeth. Can't see the screen. Well, no, of course. Hi, Delta. And also Delta. Nobody could see the screen. Just me. What good does that do? I'm here to help you all see the darn screen. Okay, fiduciary. Did anybody answer anything else? No. Okay. Number 33. Okay, one of the property manager's fundamental responsibilities is A, obtaining construction loans for the principal. Who's the principal? B, financial reporting to the principal. C, finding a buyer for the property. Or D, maintaining good standing in a manager's professional association. So one of the property manager's fundamental responsibilities is to see if Fabiola bought the book and she's following along with the book. That's awesome, Fabiola. So property managers' fundamental responsibility. So when they're managing property for others, what do they have to provide? So one of the manager's fundamental responsibilities, okay, is B, financial reporting to the principal every single month. Because those principals are there with their investment, depending on them, paying them a percentage every month from the income from the rentals to manage the property and keep track of all the income and expenses and send them money every month after all the overhead expenses. Remember to type the question number, Kamanani. You did it before, but then you didn't this time. So the answer is 33B, financial reporting to the principal. Record keeping is one of the main things that a property manager has to do, and keeping the properties occupied, right? To bring the sellers, the owners, money. More money they want. I've had property managers, and sometimes we have to make changes because it's never, I was going to say it's never managed the way we would manage it, but then we might be bad, shitty managers ourselves, right? And don't want the responsibility. Dang. Managing lots of properties is work. And dealing with tenants, oh my. Okay, number 34. Hey, disregard all those darn comments from those individuals. Yeah, no spam. I mean, get off the dang site, man. Go somewhere else and find your own place. Yeah, there's a lot of spam. I tell you what. Yep. And, YouTube is working hard to prevent a lot of stuff like that, but it's very difficult. I have people posting on our YouTube page and Facebook, saying to call so-and-so using their WhatsApp. And then you have like 20 or 30 people replying to the same thing. Oh, yes, God help me. Oh, yes, we really have to be patient. And yes, Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so really help me. I've looked up those people that they mentioned. I never find them anywhere. Yeah, they're bots. They're but something. Ha, ha, ha. All right, number 30. 934. Effective gross income is defined as A, the total of scheduled rents, B, the total of all rents and revenues generated by a property, C, potential gross income minus debt service and reserves, or D, revenue from all sources minus losses from uncollected rents, vacancies, and evictions. Effective gross income. So remember, the topics we're covering right now on this test number 9 is closing, risk management, and property management. So right now, this is probably property management. Okay, we have different answers here. We have D, and we have B, and we have C. Okay, we're all over the place, kind of. So effective gross income. So what does this mean? Vocabulary, right? Vocabulary is defined as D, all revenue from all sources minus losses from uncollected rents, vacancies, and evictions. That is the effective gross income, the actual income. So the answer is D, the total of scheduled rents plus revenues from such sources as vending services, storage charges, late fees, utilities, and contracts is the potential gross income. Subtracting losses caused by uncollected rents. Okay, so the units are occupied and they're paying late or they haven't collected. Vacancies and evictions give effective gross income. So you have all your income and then remove all those other losses. That is called effective income. Okay, so the minus, not adding. Yeah, losses are subtracted. Okay, so effective gross income is defined as revenue from all sources. You know, late rent, you know, other penalties, any eviction fees, vending services, if you provide storage within the area, if you charge for garages, late fees for also rents, utilities, if they haven't paid utilities, and contracts is the potential gross income. Subtracting then to take from that amount losses caused by uncollected rents, okay, vacancies. So any people that are not occupying a position that is available, and evictions gives the effective gross income. That threw me off. Yes. Well, sometimes they throw me off, as one student corrected me, which is good that they did. 934D. Okay, I already typed them both. Number 35. So please don't be afraid to correct me, okay, or hold back. Please do so when you find that I make an error. Some teachers don't like to be corrected, or tutors. Okay, I remember even in school, some teachers would get upset if a student would correct something that they mentioned in front of class. Well, we're human, right? We make mistakes. We're not perfect. Let's see, so what's the difference between effective gross income and net income? Okay, well, I'm going to Google it. Okay, so I explain it correctly. So net income is basically income minus expenses. Okay, so if they haven't paid rent, that's not considered income because it hasn't been paid. So it's actual money received minus operating expenses, right? So, what's going on here? So effective gross income is your potential rental income at 100% occupancy. So here, okay, some are not paying, right? And plus income from gym fees, parking fees, and the like, okay? Storage rooms, and less the losses caused by vacancies. Subtracting operating expenses from gross income gives you net operating income. So gross effective income is looking at, when you have 100% occupancy is what they're looking at. And they're not subtracting really all the actual expenses to create the net operating income. So it's potential income that could be received versus actual income minus operating expenses. So it says gross income, effective gross income is your potential rental income at 100% vacant occupancy. So someone is selling an apartment complex and they say, hey man, I make $50,000 a month when they're all rented. Well, are they all rented right now? Well, no, I only have 50% of. Well, that's, predicted potential. We don't buy on potential income. We buy based on what it's bringing in now. So that would be the actual income minus the current operating income. Okay, operating expenses gives us the net income. So effective gross is what could be potential. Gross income is actual minus all current expenses for this month. Okay, did that help? That's the difference. Okay, so let's go back, so go back and review your vocabulary of effective gross income and net income, okay, and operating expenses and such. Where are we at? All right, go buy some Chipotle. And somebody's going to go buy food while listening. That's good. At least you're still listening, Carlos. Okay, number 35. The efficiency of marketing activities can be measured in terms of what? A, cost per tenant prospect generated per lease. B, number of ads produced per marketing dollar. C, dollars expended per square foot of vacant space. Or D, percentage of reserves expended on marketing. So the efficiency of marketing activities can be measured in terms of So the efficiency of marketing activities. So marketing activities, right, is to attract, in this case, attract tenants. So how many tenants and how many leases, okay, are generated, right, by that marketing. So the effectiveness, the efficiency of that marketing activity can be measured by the cost per tenant prospect, okay, tenant prospect generated per lease. So they're generating prospects, right, and hopefully converting them to leases. So each month, the cost of their marketing hopefully will generate and convert a tenant prospect into a lease. So let's see how the answer says. So the efficiency of marketing activities can be judged in terms of how many properties per prospects per completed lease they generate. So in other words, you're going to generate maybe 10 prospects, but you only actually get 2 leases out of that. And maybe you needed 5, or maybe you only needed 2. So it was 10 prospects, and 10 prospects, 5 times 2, okay? And then generated 2 leases. So that probably did pretty good if that's all they needed was 2 leases. So the lower the cost per prospect per lease, the more effective and efficient the program. So if they have to keep marketing month by month, okay, and generate lots of prospects, that takes a lot of time, which that's what we want to do even in real estate. When we're doing cold calling, we want to generate a lot of prospects. And the average is set conservatively that we can convert 50%. Some may have a higher percentage conversion rate. However, that's a conservative conversion. So it's a cost per tenant prospect generated per lease. So how many prospects per lease? So based on what I said, they had 5 prospects and leased 1. 5 more prospects and leased another. So 10 prospects, 2 leases. So 935A. Okay, so we said we had a B, number of ads produced per marketing dollar. No, we're not attracting ads. Okay, we're spending money on ads to attract prospects that convert into leases, because those leases will be monthly income. Hopefully it only takes 1 ad, but look at Grant Cardone. He's constantly marketing on what? TikTok, Instagram, all over the place. Okay. He's all over. Excellent in marketing. That's one of his real good assets, is assets in marketing and knowing what he's doing and investing. He's actually, him and Elena Cardone joined EXP, and he invested $2 million in EXP stock. Okay. That's the first company out of so many companies that have reached out to him or he has met that he has invested in. And Elena Cardone, used to be an actress, and she is now excited that she's at EXP, because now she's doing her own thing and helping people, because that's what we do in real estate. We're helping people either buy, sell, or invest and solve their current situation or problem. All right, number 36. And, just liking to work with people or helping people doesn't make us successful in this business. It takes a lot of work. Okay. Out of 18 realtors that have joined me at EXP, 7 have already left in less than a year. Okay. So there's a 75 to 85%, okay, dropout rate. And the majority of those, they went inactive, meaning they didn't go to another company. They just dropped out. They were not doing the activities. They were not networking, or they've got other jobs or too many family members. Okay. And all of mine are new. Okay. So the ones that are actually producing they're out there doing the job of prospecting on a regular basis, either cold calling, door knocking, for sale by owners, sending out letters, anything and everything. All right, number 36. If a property's vacancy rate is significantly lower than market rates, it may be a sign that the manager needs to what? A, lower rental rates, B, raise rental rates, C, find better tenants, or D, improve management quality. So if a property's vacancy rate is significantly lower than market rates, it may be a sign that the manager needs to Yes, the answer is B. Awesome. Raise rental rate. So vacancy rates are directly related to demand and competitive supply in the market. Okay, economic supply and demand. If vacancy rate in the market property are too high, the manager may have to lower rates or identify problems in the property or its management that are contributing to vacancy level. On the other hand, if the property vacancy rate is significantly lower than market rates, the manager may conclude that higher rental rates are called for. So supply and demand, okay? So it said if a property's vacancy rate, okay, so they have higher vacancy in a significantly lower than market rates. So then it may be a sign that the manager needs to raise rental rates. Number 37. Yes, opposite. So, yeah, so what else does it say? So vacancy rates are directly related to demand and competitive supply, demand and supply in the market. If vacancy rates in the managed property are too high, like let's say you have 50 apartments and you have 30 of them vacant, you may have to lower rates or identify problem in the property or its management that are contributing to vacancy level. On the other hand, if the property vacancy rate is significantly lower, so in a way that has an effect, than market rates, the manager may conclude that higher rates are called for. So their rates may be lower than others. And so if the property vacancy rate is significantly lower than the market rates, the manager could conclude to increase. Okay, number 37. What are the three kinds of maintenance a manager has to carry out for a managed property? A, constructive, deconstructive, and reconstructive. B, routine, preventive, and corrective. C, scheduled, planned, and improvised. Or D, emergency, elective, and optional. Yes, Fabiola, I agree. I'm reading it over and over too. All right, yes, 37B, routine, preventative, and corrective. So we don't, they don't want to work on emergency, elective, and optional or scheduled, planned, and improvised. It is routine, maintain the properties regularly, do preventative maintenance, and anything that needs to be corrected. Number 38. Wow. Okay, it's probably going to be a long question. 38. The Americans with Disabilities Act, it's the ADA, requires property managers to A, ensure that disabled employees have the same level of access to facilities that all employees have. B, to hire the disabled whenever possible. C, remove all existing barriers to the free movement of disabled persons within the property, regardless of the cost. Or D, remodel the ground floor of the property in accordance with ADA standards if it was built before 1978. All right, so we have A, B, no, A and C. Yeah, the answer is A. Ensure that disabled employees have the same level of access to facilities that all employees have. Okay, so that's for requires property managers too. So B, they don't necessarily hire the disabled whenever possible, or B, remove all existing barriers to the free movement of disabled persons. There's usually an area, okay, where they have disabled parking or ramps, to provide access and put certain bars in the bathrooms and stuff for handicapped individuals. D, remodel the ground floor of the property in accordance with ADA if it was built. No. So it is ensure that so the best answer here is ensure that disabled employees have the same level of access to facilities that all employees have. So Americans with Disabilities Act. So this is different than the Federal Housing Administration, right? 7 protective classes. That's for handicap. This is different. Americans with Disabilities Act. So they may be able to perform certain things, and so the employer has to provide, that type of access for disabled individuals and as to other employees. The other handicap has to do with housing. This has to do with jobs. 938. Okay. All right, so 938A. All right, number 39. So, okay. Hire the disabled, remove all existing barriers. No, they don't remove all barriers. They accommodate them equally to others, but not necessarily have to remove all barriers as long as they provide access. 939, commercial fire and hazard insurance policies usually require coverage to equal at least 80% of the property's what? A, replacement value, B, reproduction value, C, original cost, or D, depreciated basis. So think about it. If you or your family has home insurance, and most of us don't pay attention to it. I learned a lot about it when a friend of mine's house burned down and they didn't have what the correct answer is here. However, they were able to recover a lot with all the furniture they had inside, and the cost of material was lower. So they were able to get even a nicer home built than what they had. So the answer is A, replacement value. Okay, so at least equal 80% of the properties. And so the thing to do is to get, full replacement value, not just 80%. So they don't go by original cost of a property because the market and materials change. Right now, the cost of materials for lumber and other material is high. Okay. And when that happens, a lot of times prices go up. Not a lot of times. When cost of material goes up, cost of properties goes up, and cost of insurance and things like that. Or when you have an accident, a loss, insurance companies will say, hey, you know what? You're going to have to find another company. We're not going to reinsure you because they put out a lot of money. Which is sometimes you think, that doesn't seem right. Okay, you have one incident, but maybe it was a major loss, and they've had too many individuals with major losses, and so they can't hold up to it. Like when there are disasters like hurricanes or major flooding, mudslides, or during COVID, a lot of things went bad. Oh, we're now on number 40. That's why for individuals who live in flood zone areas, there is FEMA. And even if we are not in a flood zone, a lot of times we still get flood insurance because weather has been changing a lot around the world, and areas that didn't flood are now flooding. Number 40. Trust funds to be handled by a property manager are likely to include all of the following except trust funds to be handled by a property manager. Okay, property manager is a broker, are likely to include all of the following except A, rents collected from tenants, B, cash for the management firm's operating expenses, C, security deposits, D, capital contributions from the property owner. And remember, a trust account where trust monies are put does have to be identified as a trust account. Oh, hi, Infinity. Thank you for joining us. We're still doing national questions. And we started about 6:25 because of me getting back from viewing properties and delivering money and traffic and all that. Okay, the answer here is 40B, cash for the management firm's operating expenses. So that is separate in their own business expense. So trust funds to be handled by a property manager are likely to include all of the following except cash from the management firm's operating expenses. That is business expenses. They're not rents collected from tenants, they're not security deposit, and they're not capital contributed from the property owner. The A, B, and D are kept in trust funds. B is kept in their own separate business operating account. So yes, very good. 940B. Okay, we've done 15, I believe 15 national questions and a whole bunch of other chatting and answering questions. So we are now going to shift into Texas state questions. Any other questions before we move on to Texas state questions? Now is the time to ask. So I'm going to transition into the state section of the book. So for anyone using the book, we are on test number 13, question 21, which is on page 209. And the answers are on page 286. So let me completely transition here. So any questions? I don't see any questions. So we're going to move right along. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube, hey, go and tap the subscribe button. There's many of you on there, and I only have, I'm not subscribe button, the thumbs up. And I only have 3 thumbs up. So come on, send me some love. Click that thumbs up if you find this useful. If not, hey, no thumbs up, but hey, send me some love, right? Because I'm here to help you prepare to pass your exam and become a full-time or part-time realtor, whichever you're going to be doing. Okay, number 21, Texas state questions. Is anybody taking their exam this week or next week or this month before Thanksgiving. All right. 21. A sales agent maintains a website where listing information is protected by a password. In this instance, such listing information is considered A, advertising subject to regulation, B, website advertising subject to identification requirements, C, not to be advertising due to the password protection, or D, website scraping. A thumbs up. Thank you. More thumbs up. Keep them coming. Thank you. Infinity. All right. So far I have C. Anyone else? Oh. So 21C. Yes, that is correct. Not to be advertising due to the password protection. So the question said, the sales agent maintains a website where listing information is protected by a password. That means nobody else can be changing it. In this instance, such listing information is considered C, not to be advertising due to the password protection. So we all have our own website, right? And we upload listings, or we upload them in the MLS. And those listings that are on the MLS can also be on our website. However, nobody can go in there and change them. It's public information. So it's not a particular, advertisement because it is protected. And if we were doing an advertisement like on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or YouTube, that would be paid advertisement. Okay, so 21 was C. So I'm just, man, I keep dropping my phone throughout the day. Good thing for this case. I tell you what, it's thin, but it has saved my phone. Oh my gosh. It's a Pelican. Okay, it's a Pelican case. I have dropped this phone so many times. Before that Pelican. Oh, I was showing my Pelican case. Okay. It has saved my phone so many times. I've had this phone like 4 years. Or no, maybe 2 years. Okay, number 22. So if you don't have a case on your phone, I tell you what, I highly recommend it, because I used to have to pay the $100 deductible insurance or $200 because I didn't want to spend, what, $50 for a case? Oh my God. I tell you what, I learned the hard way. Spent too much money replacing phones. Now I get a case for every darn phone. I have 2 of them. I have 2. You're going to say, why do you have 2 phones? My old phone from Oregon, which I use for the Rio Grande Valley and for personal, and a phone for San Antonio. So I have 1 of each. I have an iPhone and I have an Android. Number 22, which of the following would not be considered advertising? A text message to a friend to list her property. B, a billboard message to the general public. C, a phone message to a client. Or D, an email to a prospective clients. Which one would not be considered advertising? Because now we can send texts and emails. Oh my gosh, I get constant contacts now about, oh, why does it have, that's weird. Huh. Does anybody know what an exclamation point means? one of the answers on Facebook that I typed, they put a red circle on it and an exclamation point, but it doesn't give me an explanation. I don't know what that means. Maybe it didn't go through. Huh. So on this one here, Facebook put a red circle around it and exclamation point. All right. Okay, number 22. Yes, a phone message to a client, right? They're already a client. That's not advertising. Oh, I think Facebook is having issues. All right, number 23. One critical requirement of licensee advertising is that it, A, identify the name of the broker, B, identify a specific property, C, refrain from using the broker's assumed name if it is not registered, or D, avoid subjective exaggeration descriptions. So one critical requirement of licensee advertising. Yeah, the exclamation was a Facebook. It was stuck. So far we have A. And yes, the answer is A. Hey, Infinity, I'm going to ask you for a favor to type the question number in addition to the letter answer so that we all know, because some of the answers come through as a delay. And that way we all know what question we're answering, including me. So yeah, we must identify the broker's name. Okay, welcome, Ceci. So she's got her exam on November 18th. Hey, send her some luck, send her some love, some prayers. Okay, Ceci? Wishing you the best on that day. Tell yourself, I get an easy exam. Oh, so my thumbnail today says, think easy exam, think exam easy, or something like that. Right? I'm trying to brainwash you to think that you're going to get an easy exam. Some of them do come out easy. So ask it, believe it, and receive it. You just might receive an easy exam. All right, number 24. Yeah, I think my thumbnail says, what does it say? Think simple exam, not easy, but think simple exam. I want you to believe that. Ask it, believe it, and receive it. So you got this, Sissy. Or Sissy. All right, number 34. A broker stops using a registered assumed name, a DBA. What must the broker do to comply with law? A, nothing. Notify the commission within 15 days. I don't know where I read nothing. B, notify the commission within 30 days. C, register a new assumed name within 30 days. Or D, run a public notice for 7 days at the broker's expense. Yeah, so everybody wishing you luck, Ceci, for November 18th exam. Are you taking both national and state? Yes, think simple exam, like the thumbnail says, okay? Think simple exam. Repeat it over and over. Affirm it, okay? Say affirming words every day so that you believe it and it happens. At the end, I'm going to sing a little song that I learned from another realtor that does cold calling? The answer here is B, notify the commission within 30 days. So the commission allows us 30 days to make a change or register or let them know that we stop using a DBA. And we can do it right online. So Kamanani, I am 8 days after you. Okay, so you're on the 26th. Okay. Oh, what day is Thanksgiving? Oh, Thanksgiving is the 24th. So it's the week of Thanksgiving, Kamanani. Haha. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, right? The more we give thanks, the more we believe and we're grateful. So the answer is 1324. B. Okay. Oops. All right, number 25. All right, 25. Yes, be thankful. Be thankful and grateful of everything that you have, okay? The fact that you're here watching, you've got your eyesight, you have your hearing, right? You can write, you can read. Infinity takes his or hers on Friday. Oh, worried face. It's okay to be scared because then you'll study. And then Cindy is scheduling hers for December. All right. That way you'll end the year with a boom and start with a bang in January. Okay. You all got this. Internet advertising requires disclosure of the advertiser. A, unless the user is employing the medium of social network. B, on the home page of the site. C, on each homepage, on each page of the HTML document, or D, in the URL of the ad. And if you're not sure what all of those mean, go read the vocabulary or Google it, googlealo, like the Spanish speaking individuals say, googlealo, or in English, Google it. Okay, Infinity, his. So let's say it says, well, good luck to everyone who is taking their test soon. Yes, good luck, sending you a prayer, sending you relaxation, comfort, ease, and an excellent memory to remember what you're studying, sufficient to pass the exam or exams. Yes, the answer is C, on each page of the HTML document. Both. Okay, you're taking both exams, Ceci. Got it. I know Cindy's only taking national. I mean, Texas State. Not sure about everybody else. I think Kamanani also, Texas State. And I greatly appreciate all of you attending and watching on YouTube. Oh, I know. I had those scared faces too, Infinity. Don't feel bad. Hey, a whole bunch of you are still on YouTube. How come I only have 4 thumbs up? I only have 4 love. Okay. Give me some love. It helps my YouTube analytics. And that way I don't get analysis paralysis, right? No. All right. Number 26. Okay. Oh, Kamanani also taking both. 26. Advertising, including internet advertising, may not mislead the public. In that regard, which of the following would be considered deceptive? A website with an excessive number of listings on it. Congratulations to them. B, An ad stating that the sales agent ran the business like real estate professionals are supposed to. C, a directional sign to an open house that was pointed in the wrong direction. Accidents do happen. D, an ad directed at buyers for exclusive representation that stated the buyer may not have to pay the commission. Like them thumbs up and heart. Hearts, hearts. I love hearts. I love the thumbs up. Or what's the other one? Oh, yeah. Hook 'em horse. Type your answer for the chat for 26. So advertising, including internet advertising, may not mislead the public. In that regard, which of the following would be considered deceptive? And thank you for the love. Yes, the answer is B. Okay. Kamanani, love is ASL, American Sob. Okay, I don't get it. When we say it, we've got to mean it, right? But I don't get ASL. What is ASL? You know, I'm a nerd, and sometimes it takes me a while to catch on to things, especially, oh, American Sign Language. Ah, my goodness. Get with it, Lily. All right, number 27. Yeah, I looked it up, American Sign Language. Yep. A residential market has fallen on hard times. To make more deals with buyers, a licensee advertises an offer to rebate portions of their commission to any buyer in order to make prospective purchases more attractive. Given this scenario, which of the following applies? A, the ad must disclose that the rebate is subject to the seller's approval. B, the rebate must be made in cash before closing. C, the ad must identify a dollar limit of the rebate. Or D, the licensee may not make this offer as rebates are not legal. So the residential market has fallen on hard times, and sometimes the seller will provide incentives, okay, and other monies. To make more deals with buyers, a licensee advertises an offer to rebate portions of their commission. And we can do that to any buyer in order to make it prospective purchases more attractive. We have to make sure that we apply it to everyone. However, also getting our clients' approval. Given this scenario, which of the following applies? The answer is A. The ad must disclose that the rebate is subject to the seller's approval. So it says an advertisement containing an offer to rebate a portion of licensee's commission must disclose that payment of the rebate is subject to the consent of the party the license holder represents. Because the seller is the one that pays for our commission, right? And if they don't approve of it, then we don't. Of course, we talk to them and discuss the benefits so that they do approve it. Now, sometimes we don't do advertising. We do it at closing in order to save a transaction, to save a deal. So if payment of the rebate is contingent upon a party's use of a selected service provider, the advertisement also must contain a disclosure that payment of the rebate is subject to restrictions. So let's say we're recommending a certain home warranty, but that home warranty is saying, okay, we will contribute to this during the listing on the condition that the seller contributes a policy to the buyer, or that the buyer purchases one. And then we'll provide some type of other incentive. So it has to be disclosed, and the approval gotten from the seller. Or obtained from the seller. All right, number 28. A sales agent advertised that he consummates more closings in less time than any other volume agent in the market. The ad lists 4 such competitors listed in rank orders of their prior year's sales volume. Which of the following applies to this advertisement? A, the ad is illegal since it rank orders direct competitors. B, the ad is illegal unless it discloses what the ranking is based on and the source of the data. C, the ad is acceptable provided the parties on the list approve of the ad. Or D, it is deceptive since sales volume is not relevant to agent's proficiency. So there are many agencies that provide statistics, national, state, and local. So type your answer in the chat. Anyone else? And yes, the answer is B. The ad is illegal unless it discloses what the ranking is based on and the source of the data. So we can post the data when we get it, like from NAR, National Association of Realtors, or Texas Association of Realtors, or Inman, or any other organization that researches, top realtors throughout the United States and ranks them. We can use that. Or within our own brokerage, when our office lists according to the production of a realtor, at what level they rate. So companies will report monthly on teams productions or individual productions or partners productions. So the answer is 1328B. Okay. We must justify where we got the information. Can't just make it up, or that's what we think. 29. Which of the following is true regarding office regulations for brokers? Oh, I forgot to mention what these questions were. So these questions have to do with standards of conduct and brokerage practices. Standards of conduct and brokerage practices. So which of the following is true regarding office regulations for brokers? A, in-state resident brokers must maintain a fixed office location. B, additional branches need not have an office license provided it is within the same market area. C, non-resident brokers must maintain an in-state office. Or D, if a broker changes locations, the broker's license transfers to the new office as is. So which one is true regarding office regulations for brokers? Okay, so far we have A. It is not B. So take another attempt. So the answer is A. In-state resident brokers must maintain a fixed office location. So then you might ask, okay, so how do cloud-based companies have, we do have a local address, okay? And uh, every state has a local address either at the capital or and in the main metropolitan city. So we do have a local address. So in-state resident brokers, okay, in-state resident brokers must maintain a fixed office location. And we had answers B. Additional branches need not have an office license provided it is within the same market. So all branches have licenses. Now you don't have to get a separate license for branches. They can use the same license. That was removed, I think, last year. And then did anybody answer C? Non-resident brokers must maintain an in-state. So the true one is in-state resident brokers must maintain a fixed office location. Oh, I'm sorry. So B, it said additional branches need not have an office license. Well, they do have a license in their office, okay? It just doesn't have to be a separate one, because some offices have multiple locations within a metropolitan area or other branches nearby in one of the suburbs. Okay, so did I type that in? So I sometimes get confused when there's answers that say need not have an office. They do have to have an office license. So non-resident brokers, okay, that one is not a true office regulation for non-resident brokers to have an in-state office. And then if a broker changes locations, the broker's license transfers to the new location as is. We have to report it to TREC and get a new address on the license. So we have to update our Texas Real Estate Commission of any name changes and any DBA changes, any address changes, or any status changes, and marriages, divorces, anything like that that changes the name as to how we were registered. And so we fill out a 1-page or 2-page form, send it in with a change fee. Number 30. A buyer signs an offer to purchase a property. At this juncture, the licensee is required to disclose which of the following. Okay, buyer signs an offer to purchase a property. At this juncture, the licensee is required to disclose which of the following. A, that the price agreed to was developed without coercion or market collusion. B, that the buyer should get title insurance or a title abstract examination by an attorney. C, that TREC requires the buyer to obtain property inspection. Or D, that the buyer must be pre-approved to satisfy the contract's financing contingency. Okay, so this is, the buyer has already signed an offer to purchase a property. So what happens after that? Which statement is true? So far we have B. Anyone else? Type your answer in the chat. No, it's not a C. TREC does not require property inspections. That is up to the buyer. Sometimes the lenders used to require it, but that's not a requirement by the lender. It's by the buyer. Now, if an inspection is provided and there's a lot of issues on it, and there's an amendment that says, oh, repairs must be done according to the inspection report, then the lender may require that inspection report say, oh man, this house has too many issues. We don't want to finance this house. So 30 is B, that the buyer should get title insurance or title abstract examination by an attorney. So the only companies that issue title insurance is a title company. That's what they do. They provide title insurance. So any property, any contract that's going to be closed at a title company is going to be obtaining title insurance. So they'll be getting title policy. If they don't ask for a title insurance or for the title to have research, then they can go to an attorney. And the attorney can examine an existing title policy that maybe there was one before, or the attorney will ask for the title companies to generate one, because attorneys are also escrow officers. However, they do not do title searches. That is only title companies that do title searches. So if a buyer is buying a cash deal and they don't require a title search, then they go to an attorney. However, if someone goes to an attorney and they still want title search, then the attorney will ask for the title search from a title company. And the title company will provide it and insure it after everything has been cleared and the property is cleared to transfer, no judgments, no liens, nothing. Okay, so that the buyer signs an offer, and at this juncture, the licensee is required to disclose which of the following: that the buyer should get title insurance or its title abstract examination by an attorney. Now, the title insurance was probably recommended prior to signing the offer. However, if they didn't, they would have to do an amendment, okay, to ask for title insurance and present it to the seller and determine who's going to pay for it. Okay, because the title insurance is searching for the seller's credibility or the seller's history on that property to find out if there's any liens or not, if it's clear to convey, if it's a fee simple property, right? They have the rights to convey the property. They have full ownership, a full bundle of rights. So, it says a buyer signs an offer to purchase a property. So at this juncture, the licensee is required to disclose which of the following: that the buyer should get title insurance. Well, that should have been disclosed prior to signing the contract. However, they could advise them to do it after, and to have an attorney do the abstract examination. And what is the abstract examination? The abstract is the search on the title, on the history of the property, either with just the particular owner of this present time or for the whole history of owners that have owned that property, okay, from the beginning that it was built. The title company can do searches of the whole. Okay, so that's a general search versus a special title search when they're issuing only a special warranty. So they're only warranting the ownership and knowing about the property during just this one specific owner, not all the past. And that could be like with a bank will issue a special warranty, or an executor, an administrator, or a trustee. Otherwise, usually the type of warranty that's issued is a general warranty deed that can search the whole history of the title. Okay, so we're going to call it a day. We did 10 Texas state questions. And for any of you taking the exam soon, continue studying questions until you get 100% accurate when you're doing the tests in these books. Don't stop at just 80% or 85%. The actual exams are typically tougher than the practice exams. And sometimes they're similar, okay? There's so many exams that are taken from a pool of questions. And in Texas, you have what, 85 national questions and 40 state questions for the sales agent. And for broker, it is 60, I believe, state questions. So study them over and over, because you're probably going to get questions that you've never heard of before. And they're there to make us think of real scenarios. Okay. Use common sense. So in that case, go by process of elimination. If still you don't know what the answer is, look at what the prior 3 answers or 4 answers were. If they were all the same letter, if they were all A, then answer A. Because typically they may have 3 or 4 answers consecutively be the same letter. Okay. All right. Now I said at the end. So anyway, thanks for attending today. Remember, if this is your first time to my YouTube channel, YouTube Agent Prep, you know what to do. Tap that subscribe button, click that little bell so you're the first to get alerted every time I go live. And like this video if you found it useful. But there's a little song that this one lady does when she's going to go do her cold calling, okay, with a dialing like we have with using Vulcan 7. And you're welcome, Cindy. So Cindy sends thanks. So anyway, she says, so I was doing this morning, okay, and looking at the mirror, and you think, oh man, that's kind of dumb, that's stupid, that's silly. I don't like the word stupid, but I used to think it was dumb, okay, to be looking in the mirror and affirming, like, I love myself. I'm the best realtor up there. I'm the #1 realtor. I'm a power caller, okay. I attract clients. I attract sellers. Sellers easily list with me. So she did a little song and she says, I love making calls until I hit my goals. No matter how hard objections, no matter how hard I can fear, I win my fear. Says, I love it. I love it. I love it. Whenever I can conquer fear of rejection. So she's getting her mindset. Okay. And that's a lot of time, because cold calling is not necessarily fun because we get a lot of rejections, right? And so what we do is we affirm over and over something in our mind, and we do it verbally. So our mind hears it. What our mind hears, our mind believes. So if I say, I love making calls, and I used to say, I hate making calls, so I wouldn't make them. Well, now I say, I love making calls. I love making calls until I hit my goals, right? So I have my goals. Okay. So every year we have to do our goals, and we usually do them like in October. Okay. And so my goals, okay, will say how many calls I have to make. Let's see. Okay. So if I want to, let's say I wanted to make, 350,000, 300,000. Okay. I'm thinking big, whether I reach it or not. I'm thinking it. I'm believing it. Okay. So I have to get 27 listings. Okay. So I see my goals right on here. And then how many calls do I have to make every day? How many appointments do I need to set, for every week? And in order to get 27 listings, for the year, in order to achieve my goal of that salary, then I have to have 2.2 closed sales per month and a half a sale per week. Okay. So that's almost, that's 2.5, almost 104 a year. So that's 8.68 or 9 per month, right? 9 per 10 months, that's 90. That's a lot of sales. Okay. I've done 103 sales before when I double-sided. And how many contacts do I need for the per week? 72.92 contact. And what is a contact? A contact is when somebody actually answers and we talk to them. Okay. Even if they end up hanging up, but that's a contact when somebody answers and we talk to them. So I've got to make 73 of those contacts per week. Then you divide that by 5 days if we're cold calling 5 days, right? And so what, 75, 15 times 5. So 15 contacts per day to get like 75 per week. And it may take 100 calls, dials, 150 dials, or 200 dials, because a lot of people don't answer. And so we call them again, call them again. And that's what it takes. And I'm finally doing it the right way, not the way I used to do it, knocking on doors and driving around. Okay, I'm in a bigger city. All right, y'all. So you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thanks for watching and listening. Eventually, I'm going to be recording myself when I'm cold calling and put them on here so that you can watch and then experience it and hopefully do it yourself. Maybe your way of getting a business will be, talking to a lot of people by door knocking, on having open houses, following up with buyers. We're told the statistic is to call people at least 7 times, maybe even 10 times. If they don't answer, keep calling, keep calling. And then after that, after we talk to them, follow up, follow up, follow up at least 7 times. It's a lot of work, y'all, but that's how we get to make money. And that's what we're here to do, right? To become realtors, create a real estate business, a successful one, and make money and reach our dreams and our goals and have a big vision to do things for our family, for generational wealth, or anything in life that we want to do. Buy a house, buy a car, buy a boat, go to Europe, go to Asia, go to Southern Mexico, anywhere, South America, okay, Asia. So, in order to achieve those goals, right, we have to set goals by numbers. It's a numbers game. And it's a repetitive game, just like I mentioned to you, to repeat the questions over and over till you get 100, almost like you memorize them. Because we have scripts that we use that we almost memorize, but if not memorized, then we keep them in front of us. Because when we're talking to people, we're not on the Zoom call or anything. We're on the phone, right? So anyway, when it comes to that point, we'll talk more about it. So thanks, you all. Thanks for attending tonight. Have an awesome evening. Until next time, catch you later. And next time is Wednesday.